guys, welcome back today. Today we are talking about balance and proprioception. So, proprioception is our ability to understand where our body is in space. So, we have these things called proprioceptors in our body, like they lay within our muscle, in our skin, in our joints, and they tell us if we're compressing, if we're stretching. It just tells us where our whole position is about our body. So, for example, proprioceptors would tell us that when I close my eyes, I can touch my nose and know where it is in space because my body's input has been tuned up and it knows where I am. If that system were impaired, you might see some things like when I land, I lose my balance, versus when I land, I know exactly where I am in space. So, what we're going to work on today is balance in the sense that it tunes up our muscles' ability to understand where we are in space and very quickly. So the good thing about proprioceptors is that they do wake up very quickly when we ask them to move. So just by asking ourselves, and I want you guys to work along with me here, just asking ourselves to stand on one leg for a moment, and I am barefoot. I like doing proprioceptive exercises barefoot. You don't have to, because I can feel the ground. I'm getting some input from the ground, so that's actually giving my sensory system a little bit of extra input. Okay? So as we stood here for 30 seconds, I can see I didn't fall over, and that's because my body's stability and my balance was there. Now let's go ahead and play with trying to close our eyes on this one and see what happens. Oh boy. Now I no longer, I'm going to lose my balance. I no longer have vision helping me. So I close my eyes again, and I'm just going to see if I can learn from that. And I no longer have vision telling me where I am in space, and I depend only on all of my proprioceptors. I stood next to a pot on purpose so that I could use it if I needed to. Or you could see that when I was working on that eyes closed balance, I did just do a toe touch. So again, let's try standing on the other leg. We're going to hold that. Your goal is about 30 seconds. And actually, I like to say, I want to think of being able to lift the opposite leg to about 90 degrees. And that tells us that we are just really nice and tall and that we don't shrink or lean while we're doing that. So we should look the same from being here to here. We shouldn't find that when we do this, that we do anything else. So you can do that in a mirror as well. Let's go ahead and close our eyes on that and see how we do. Okay? I haven't done this in a while. My body needs to relearn that. I'm going to retry it again. My eyes are open. I'm going to close my eyes and just see how I do. Second try. Oh. Good job, guys. I need to work on that one, right? So when I took away vision, my body wasn't speaking to me very well, and I need to work on that one. So your goal in the next few weeks is to balance on one leg, eyes closed for 30 seconds, and not have to put your foot down, okay? So we're going to go into some other stability components of balance and proprioception. So stability meaning we're going to activate muscles that will stabilize our joints. So for example, when I jump onto one leg, I want to feel like I'm not going all over the place, not just because of my proprioceptors, but because my muscles are active. So in this case, I really want my glutes to fire, and how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to land on one leg, balance on that. I'm on my right leg right now. We're going to balance on that right leg, and I'm in a hinged position. I'm going to turn you to the side here. So I'm just going to take my hips, sit them back almost like I'm on a high chair. I'm just going to balance on that one leg. Okay? And when I'm doing that, I'm going to challenge myself to lift my opposite hip. Now this is a great glute exercise. So we're no longer just working on balance. We're working on activating some key hip muscles that are going to help us learn how to load. Now, Dr. Jared in a couple sessions is going to talk about ACL injury prevention, and this is going to lead up to that. And that if we can start to fire some of these glutes, some of these hip muscles, we can stabilize the knee and avoid knee injuries or even ankle injuries because we've learned to activate some of those glutes. So we're going to stand on one leg, start with just trying to hold in that peeing on the fire hydrant type of position, and then go ahead and try to repeat that. And I want you to repeat that 30 times, okay? That's going to really fire all of those glutes on each side, okay? So let me know how you feel and if you can do 30 repetitions there, okay? If you can't, that's fine. Let me know where you're at, but also try to build up to doing 30 repetitions. Now, once you get that down, if that's going well, go ahead and try going a little deeper with your squat and see if you can still do that fire hydrant. Good job, guys. Woo! So, leading into that, we just talked about proprioceptors and stability. We got on one leg, eyes closed, eyes open, a little bit of a hip hinge to load some key muscles. We're going to start there today so you guys can start that learning process. But I want you to think back to one of our last videos of trying to find our core here. So we're not just letting our back sway as we do this, but we're going to pull in those core muscles as we're doing that. So we're drawing in those lower abdominal muscles, doing our hinge, keeping those abdominal muscles relatively engaged. I don't say like tighten them like you're going to not move, but engage them so that they stabilize your pelvis, and go ahead and go through those exercises, okay? In our next couple sessions, we'll be able to progress on a lot of jumping and landing because we've activated some of these key muscles in order to start getting there, okay? Can I have you do one more activity? Yes, okay. So now we're going to be less boring and we're going to be dynamic about this. And all we're going to work on is the same balance exercise, same hip hinging, but all we're doing is going to do a step and balance. We're going to count to 3, 1, 2, 3. Take the next foot, step, balance, 1, 2, 3. Step, balance, 1, 2, 3. And let's go backwards. Step, balance, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All we're doing there is we're changing it into more of a dynamic exercise. And that's going to start to look like a little bit more of our agility drills starting next week. So I really want you guys to practice the step and balance part of it after you've tuned up some of the single leg balance things. So for example, fit those in the day. You brush your teeth standing on one leg with your eyes closed, okay? Don't fall over, but have something close to you. But then as we get into some more agility types of things, we're going to want to make sure that we have all those muscles tuned up, okay? So that's what we have to look forward to next week, is some more agility, stability progressions, and more balance progressions. You guys are doing great. Keep it up. Again, give me some feedback on how you're doing. Tell me how many reps, what you struggled with, and we'll look forward to progressing those next week.